Honda or Torco manual transmission fluid? What do you use? So maybe you all have heard or seen, read different things. There's a huge debate going on between Honda and Torco or any other aftermarket manual transmission fluid. Now, let's talk about both of them. Honda, what's its advantages? Well, it's made by Honda. Of course, all our transmissions are Honda designed. Honda fluid just makes sense, right? But what we're doing with these cars, track cars or drag cars, whatever you're doing, street performance, it takes it a step further, right? Like you're wanting more performance out of everything. So is the Honda genuine fluid enough? A positive for the Torco. A lot of people say that, it just has that step above. It's more oriented towards performance. Some people mention that, if transmissions are a little older, maybe gears and things are a bit worn out, the Torco fluid is definitely better because it's meant to withstand high temperatures and more abuse. So going back to the Honda manual transmission fluid, the thing about it is, yeah, it's made for the Honda manual transmissions, but some people are saying, oh no, it's made for the newer Honda manual transmissions. Keep in mind, like my D series here, this Z6 transmission that I'm running, it's pushing 20 years old, man. Like that's an old transmission, and to my knowledge, this thing has never been rebuilt. I just took it out of a junkyard, put it in my car, and hey, it happens to work great. But so is the Honda manual transmission fluid meant for just all Hondas ever made ever? I don't know. There's not really anything too specific out that I have read anyway about that. If you know, drop it down in the comments. So here's where I personally stand. In my race car, I run the Torco fluid. It's meant to withstand higher heat. It's meant to be working better with older parts, keeping them running better longer. I am comfortable running the Torco in that car. It sees nothing but abuse when it's driving. I want something that's able to withstand that and is meant, specifically engineered to do that. In my mind, that's the Torco fluid. For my daily car, for my EK, I use the Honda manual transmission fluid. All I do is drive this thing to work, just an A to B car for me. And the Honda manual transmission fluid, I'm totally comfortable using it. So here's where, it's like, is it really any different at all? I use the Honda manual transmission fluid and the Torco manual transmission fluid, and I have yet to have a transmission ever fail or grind a gear or anything on me. Not saying that won't happen, it's just so far it hasn't. So both of them are like, hey, this is good. I guess you would have to take both transmissions apart and inspect them. You'd probably have to start with a rebuilt transmission, run the same fluid in both, take them apart after so many miles and inspect them. I don't know. If you all know, again, drop it in the comments. This is just what I'm thinking. But so here's a story for you. Travis got his transmission rebuilt, right? Y'all seen his Z6 transmission that he went and put some really nice short gears and a limited slip differential in. And he had it built by a performance shop. I'm not going to name any names here, but it's a serious shop who deals with actual racing cars that built his transmission. When they found out that Travis was going to use the Torco manual transmission fluid, he said they almost fell on the floor. They were like, oh my God, dude, don't do that. Like, only use the Honda manual transmission fluid. He said they were super adamant about it. And to be honest, we were both kind of surprised by that. Like, wow, a performance shop is telling us to run the OEM stuff and not something that's higher end, supposedly. But so then, the guys who sold the parts to Travis for his new transmission, they were super adamant about using the Torco fluid. They were like, no, Honda is great for using it for daily driving purposes. If you're gonna be pushing this thing, you want to use a performance superior manual transmission fluid. Travis and I both are like, okay, wow, this is really confusing. You have two highly recommended big names in the racing world telling you two different things. So I guess it always still comes down to a matter of opinion. I don't know. Again, I think there would have to be some actual legitimate testing on this, taking these transmissions apart and, figuring out what looks good, what has worn more, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Maybe that's already been done. Again, if you know, drop it in the comments. Super interested to see that. But so it's a total raging debate, man. Do you use Honda manual transmission fluid, or do you use Torco or some other aftermarket fluid? Has something failed on your car, transmission or whatever, using one fluid or another? But so drop it in the comments, you guys. If you have something cool to say about this, or if you know something that I don't, go ahead and let us all know. And yeah, it'll be really cool to read that and see. So thank you all for watching. Talk to you in the next one.